Hi everybody, a very good evening. Those who are watching from Melbourne, Australia, and if you are in different part of the world, good day to you. This is Don Sherman, midday of the week, and Wednesday evening. I thought of coming on live another episode of Chat with Don. And tonight's show, we have a special guest star coming on live and joining with me for an exclusive chit chat. We're gonna join that special character in a short while from now. In the meantime, I would like to inform you some of my Chat with Don episodes are available on my YouTube channel, my previous ones. So if you want to join and watch the previous chats of mine, you can simply check it out on my YouTube channel, that Don Sherman Official. Yes, Don Sherman Official. You can check it out, my previous chat which I have done with wonderful personalities, especially the Sri Lankan top artist and some of the other wonderful characters, and so many new chats line up for upcoming weeks as well. I hope everybody is feeling good and doing good. In the meantime, there are so many requests coming on my way in various personalities to be taken in future chats as well. So I'm working on with various different resource personalities to come in. And thank you for our regular viewers like Paul Muller. It's a wonderful personality who's living in, a friend of mine living in Sri Lanka, and many regular visitors and personalities coming on my way and watching every programs and commenting whatnot, giving some ideas and positive feedback as well, and also constructive feedbacks as well. Thank you so much for all the wonderful people who are joining with me and giving me the positive vibes to come through with some more fine things and develop things and yeah, whatnot, and so many good things coming on this way. And yes, the lockdown is happening right here in Melbourne, but we are going forward, I believe. Yes, we are going forward with positivity and overcome with this situation. I'm definitely sure things will be all right in upcoming days, and we can have a good time for this summer and Christmas as well. And friends and families, get ready for the celebration in time to come, because the Christmas is coming and also the festive season is coming, and a brand new year, of course, ahead with few more months in 2022. Yeah, why not? And I'll be hoping to do a exclusive interview with another wonderful personality on my Instagram page, which is coming on this Friday night. That's Nicole Angelina. She's another young, talented singer who's joining with me on this coming Friday night on my Instagram page. That is Don Sherman, the singing chef. You can join with her, Nicole, and her beautiful singing and her life story and whatnot. We're going to share with her this coming Friday night at 8 o'clock right here in Melbourne time. So I hope that my guest tonight will be joining very, very soon. I hope that she get my invitation, and I have already sent the invitation. But in the meantime, let's check it out whether she can grab the invitation and join with me at the earliest. So I hope that she's watching. So if she's watching, you can just throw a little bit of a message so that I can get you into the screen. And she's actually, I met her in throughout my journey in singing in Australia. There we go, she's on there. Maybe I'll take her on the screen. Give me a moment. And I met her in my singing career right here in Melbourne for the last few past years. And she's such a wonderful, positive vibe personality, whereas she's in show business. And also she has got so much of experience. Yeah, she's got so much of experience behind her, especially not only in singing and the other things, but she's into a motivational works and projects, and she gets so much of young individuals to the right path. That is something that I want to share with her tonight, because she's a very a positive personality, where she involved with many social I would say social projects, and some other I would say definitely some community projects as well. So here we are joining with Stephanie. Good evening, Stephanie.
Good evening. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm great, doing good, and so glad to have you, Steph, tonight. And I hope you're doing good as well.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for having me, Dom. This is such a, you've just dropped you there. This is such a great idea. I love what you're doing. And, you know, this is so meaningful. And, you know, hi to all of your amazing people on here. And yeah, I just hope that I can give you some value tonight. And yeah, this would be a great chat.
That's amazing, Steph, and I'm so glad to have you as well. I know you have a busy schedule. You are involved with various projects and works as well. And of course, doing things from home as well. Everybody's doing things from home. But to have you and exposed to a new set of audience and giving some
Yes.
vibration to that different audience is something that I am a pleasure to do. Now, Steph, tell me, first of all, how's the lockdown going on with you for the last few months, I would say?
It's okay. I mean, you know, honestly, like everybody, we all have our ups and downs. I think this has been the biggest, I guess, time to reflect on self, and I feel like because of things that we've never experienced before, it's really testing our character and I guess our endurance in all of this. And that's where I feel like that is. And I feel like, you know, there's a lot going on, you know, between family and friends, and everybody's got different worldviews. And it's really interesting to see, I guess, in this time, how everybody handles difficult situations. So, you know, I'm human, even though I'm a coach. I have my own moments as well where I have my ups and downs. But I think the thing that's been helping me is consistent walking every day. So getting out there every day, going for a nice walk, and yeah, just enjoying the real simple things and getting to know myself again and exploring different projects. I think that's been the most exciting thing, and working with some amazing clients who are, you know, I love to help. I feel like when you help someone, that fulfills something new that you can't really explain. So yeah.
Absolutely, and definitely, as you said, the vibration and the involvement in the human context has been going into a different level change, and also people are used for the new normal. Now, tell me certain little things. Now, individuals definitely watching this, I mean, your personal, the individuals that you are doing the coaching, they are very going on the right format according to your mentoring. Now, as a general, just tell me, Steph, some of the key elements now, people who are watching this, how do you overcome with this current situation, and especially in their inner minds and expectations, and how do you overcome with the little things that you can do, which goes for a longer, bigger goals?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I love that one. I think when it comes to my clients, I have to meet them where they're at. And I think that's with dealing with anybody. It's meeting people where they're at in their journey. And some people have different challenges, and that's where I need to meet them at. So that's really important, is to be present. That's a really big thing, being present with people and really coming from a place of understanding. We live in a very digital world where we're very distracted. So I think that we can easily get carried away with things on the internet, with people's opinions, and so on and so forth. And I think sometimes we get carried away on what's actually real and what's not real. So I think the important part is that when we put a phone down, or when we put social media away, other than doing, you know, something productive like this, but when we put these things away, we can really get into perspective what is actually going on and how it's affecting us. In regards to what I do for some of my creative clients, well, one of my clients got, you know, they had a goal that they wanted to reach 100,000 streams for their music, and that was a 12-month goal. We hit that in about 9 months, and that was during lockdown. Yeah, one of my other clients I've been working with for just under 6 months was as a presenter as well, and now has landed a television show. And and that work really isn't, I mean, I don't sit there and we work on how to get on the television show the whole time. A lot of it is inner work, because when we learn to fix ourselves and our internal problems, the world around us then starts to change. So that's the first step, is really just looking at what's going on with you. If you don't have a good outlook, or, you know, you're troubled by things, then there's going to be a lot of blockages in the way of you actually getting those things. So when somebody comes up to me and says, I want to be famous, but I don't have any money, then I already see the objection there, which is I don't have any money. So that's always going to be that story. So once you can look at that differently, you'll be able to overcome different blockages. It's just depends on how far the person is willing to work, because we can all really want something and dream about it, but doing it is a whole other thing. And I think that that's where we need to, it's not just motivation, it's really a discipline and making a decision that you're going to do something, instead of just hoping and then blaming the world for things that you can control. So there are things that we can't, and that's the situation that we're in. But there are things that you can, which is your mind, your body, your spirit. You know, you can, you know, it's easier to eat badly in lockdown, but it's harder to be healthy. But which one do you want? What do you want for the long run? So these are questions that you have to ask yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And Steph, with your reply, you just mentioned beautiful two things. One is that you need to work according to your capacity, in the sense like the things in your control and the possibility. And also, I just want to ask a little opinion from you, in the sense like your personal opinion when it comes to discipline that you mentioned as well, and also the things that you are in control, especially in this pandemic situation. Tell me your personal opinion. Some people is keen to get the vaccination. Some people are reluctant to get the vaccination. So what's your personal opinion on that?
I think it's high. Again, that just depends on the person and their situation and what's going on with them. I mean, everybody's going to look at it differently. Again, we're in, you know, the things that surround us is what makes us. So I think the best way to look at it is that what's the best thing for you? What do you feel like is the best thing for you? I think at the end of the day, the decision needs to come from you. You know, that's it, you know. And whatever you need to do to come to that decision, you know, you need to do that. Whether you need to, again, remove yourself off social media, or if you need to, you know, talk to people you trust or you love, you know, whatever it is that's going to help you. I think that that's the best approach to look at it. And either way, you know, I think it's got to be something that works for you. And, you know, there's a lot of opposing opinions at the moment. And I think the best way to look at it is just hear people and just come from a place of understanding, because we're in an uncertain time. And, you know, really, what is the answer? No one can answer that right now. We don't have one. But once we do, hopefully, you know, in the next couple of years, or, you know, whatever it is, I think one of the things that I told somebody that called me last week about their status, I said, guess what? You know what? We're all doing the best we can. That's all you can ask for from anyone, really. So, yeah.
Absolutely. That's a very good tonic to everybody who thinks that I have the problem bigger than anybody. So that is something that you need to understand. And maybe your expectation and your dreams can make bigger than you, then everything will be looks very smaller to you. Now, Steph, in addition to a bit of the value to be added to everybody, could you just tell something about your career and to get some value for everyone? Because definitely some of my friends and even people who are watching this it's not very known to you. So I know that you are quite popular in Melbourne and of course Australia, and you have done so much of work in various music and entertainment industry. Could you tell me something about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've had a very long journey in this space, but it really started to, I guess, you know what, the funny thing is that my career really kicked off when something really horrible happened. So that's why I actually think that this difficult time is going to be the best time for some people, because I mean, in my world, and you know, I went on X Factor because I wanted to become a singer, and that was my last thing. I was 24. I felt like I was too old because in this industry, you've got to be quick. And, you know, I'd spent many years of doing lots of shows around Melbourne and, you know, making music and investing so much money. It's actually a costly affair. And my last straw was doing the X Factor, and I remember going in with a group, and then they said no. They said no at the lives. This was with 30,000 people in the audience. So I was humiliated. And even though they told me that, oh, you should come back next year for me on my own, I didn't hear that part. I heard no. So, you know, instead of looking at it the other way where, oh, I can come back next year, I just heard the no. And I was going through a really hard time in my life at that point, you know, feeling too old. And I remember leaving the arena and just hitting my head on the grass and just thought, what am I going to do now? And I right now, this is a familiar feeling that's going on right now. Yeah, what am I going to do? I have lost, yeah, I have lost all purpose, you know. But you know what, when I feel like the thing that, you know, because I dreamt about this since I was a little girl. So to feel that was like everything had been taken away. So at that point, everything just then went wrong, as it does. So again, if this sounds familiar, that's okay. You know, I sprained my foot and I hurt my back and I lost my job, and it was just awful. And I remember being at our Greek Easter. I come from a Greek background. We had Greek Easter, and I had eaten so much and I had drank too much, and I was sitting on the couch, lying down, drunk, full, injured, and just I felt useless. And I knew at that point I had to do something because I couldn't keep living like this. So my first thing was to get a job. So I applied at a few different places. I got a few interviews, which was looking bright. And I thought, what could I do now that was similar to music? I had already done some community television. So I'd done television presenting, but on a community station. So I literally, because singing was the forefront of my mind, I dismissed the stuff that I was doing well at. So I thought radio would be cool. So I walked past a radio station and I said, oh, hi, you know, I would love to have a radio job. And they said, oh, well, we can give you a show, but we're not going to pay you. And I said, okay, that's fine, no worries. So I had my own show on Saturday morning on a Greek radio station where I did an English show. And that's where I found my passion and love for radio. I had some really great guests from interstate, and I had Crime Stoppers sponsoring me. And I felt like I was finally listened to. That was the thing that changed. And because things felt so good and I felt like I had a team, I would be there till midnight every single night planning my shows. I was just obsessed with it. I didn't even have any expectations. I was just obsessed with doing this. And yeah, it just felt really good. So after about a year of doing it, I ended up leaving and going onto a bigger station, still community, so I still wasn't getting paid. And yeah, I got a bigger role, and then I got to go to red carpet events and do that, and go to Foxtel stuff, like just this was all in the space of about a year. And yeah, and then I ended up studying radio for 6 months because I wanted to work on commercial radio. I wanted to get a job and get paid. And then after that, I met a really great mentor who's still one of my closest friends now. And I still work with this person. And she said, yeah, there's a job going at one of the big stations and they're looking for someone. And I remember going in there and just passing everything. And this was in the space of about a year and 2 years now. And it all just came full forward and they gave me a chance. And it was just the biggest victory I felt in my life, that I had finally gotten paid for something that I enjoyed to do. So it was a long journey, but that was a very short journey once I had gone through something difficult, decided what I wanted to do, and went at it with no, at no cost. No wasn't an answer for me. I just had to go for it. And since then, yeah, I've done some big events. We have a big St Kilda Fest. We've got 3, I think it's, again, another 30,000 in the crowd, and, I emceed that. And now I work at a same station but different. So now I'm the voice nationally for our brand Chemist Warehouse. So I got to get on a billboard, and yeah, and it's, in the meantime, I've always taught singing, and then, COVID happened, and, I decided after that, I thought, you know what, I've got a lot more life experience to share, and I want to help people get to where they want to go just as fast with the same principles. So I decided to, start my entertainment mindset business. I had no idea what I was doing. I just did it. I do first and then I think later. And I don't know whether that's right or not, because I'm still that way. But, for me, it just seems to work. So, yeah.
That's really amazing. I'm definitely sure you've been such an inspiration for most of the people who think that overnight success, or maybe think that get paid for your first job, or maybe I'm value more than this, and think that in a short time success. So definitely, Steph, now you said that your career is just a roller coaster that you went through around, but you never give up. That's something that everybody needs to have, that never give up attitude and continuous work. Now, you get an inspiration to do the personal coaching and image building. So how that triggered to you, and how it happened? Was that an accident, or you just got an inspiration through your mentor and the coach, and you started it, or what?
Yeah, I think for me, I was a singing teacher for many years, so coaching was something I was passionate about anyway. I ended up in my singing classes just talking about life and giving more life lessons than actual singing lessons. And my lessons ended up they were an hour cap, but I would go over that and go to, an hour and a half. So yeah, so that's when I started thinking, oh, this is interesting. I think there's something in this. And yeah, the start of 2020, it was really funny because I had this feeling we needed to go online. I just had this weird instinct. I said, we need to have more online things. So I wanted to start educating myself on the online world and the Zoom and, all that sort of webinar front. So I started doing some research. Then what happened is I did a couple of webinars online. This was before any lockdowns. And then as soon as lockdown happened, I knew how to do it. So I got everybody online, not to do a singing lesson, but to talk, because I found that many of the students were just really upset, rather than, they needed more than just learning how to sing. So I guess you could say it happened by accident, but I was very strategic as well, because I had a feeling it would go online. And then after that, I then said to everyone, look, for the meantime, I'm going to leave singing, but if you come with me, we're going to do a six-week trial on whatever I'm trying to do. And you let me know at the end what worked for you and what didn't work. So basically, I used my students as guinea pigs. And then after that, we did a photo shoot, and it was fun, and they loved it, and they got results. So that's when I started, going off that. Now, it's changed dramatically since then. It was a group program originally, and then I eventually started adding one-on-ones. But I found through the one-on-one coaching was where I was going. And I felt like, a lot of my clients now who are predominantly one-on-one is where I want to be at. So just like really mentoring one person, helping them get a result and going after it just like I did. And at all costs within that 12-month period. Yeah.
That's great. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Steph, you are not doing only the entertainment motivation, or the not in particular area. If someone wants to come out with their different career, maybe poet, or maybe writing, or maybe different art, or acting, you still can guide them and get their goals reached. Is that?
Yeah, because I think success has a specific way of working, and I think it can really be applied to anyone. So I think that you know, with those principles, and like I said, I've worked with, you know, a presenter and, you know, all these kinds of people, and they don't even have to be in the industry. You know, they really can, like you said, can want to do anything, but you know, they have to be people that are willing to want to do something and willing to completely change their life. You know, I think you've got to have a certain attitude and a certain mindset of what you want to do, and be open to, you know, hey, I'm here, I want to change my life. I kind of like writing, I'm not sure, but I want to do something there. What do you think? And then with that information, I'm able to take that and make that into something that can be really creative and outside of their box, you know, outside of their square, because that's something that I love. I love thinking outside that. Just like I brought on that business, and when everybody was just doing the singing lessons online, I thought, no, we need to do something more, because we're moving out of this space and we're never coming back. We're never coming back to this face to face. I mean, maybe we'll do a little bit of it, but online is part of our world now. So I need to accept that, and how can I work with that? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Online is the platform where anybody from any part of the world can join at
And I think
the
that
second.
in
That's
short
what
terms,
we are currently doing as well. And now,
Yes.
Steph, tell me now, you are currently mainstream radio and your voice is being heard all across the country, not only in Victoria, every part of the country. And if I tell you,
Yes.
Kiss FM is your channel that you've been associating or rather working directly. Now, tell me the lifestyle of, I mean, I just want to get an inspiration to the viewers, and how is this top DJs or are the top radio personalities work, and how they came across with their journey, and if you can just share, because you have currently access to them, so just give some bit of a value on that as well for the viewers.
Yeah, so like what life's like as a radio person, yeah, it's fun. You know, it's fun. It's you know, I love going in every day. You don't know what to expect. It's different. I do think that the qualities that you have to have is that you have to be constantly, your brain has to be on. You've got to be a very quick thinker, and you've got to be a very quick doer, and be able to execute as well. So, you know, I feel like, because I guess I've done it for a little while, it just comes naturally. But, you know, the life is fantastic. I mean, you know, there's great people in there. The network's full of different people. It's not just announcers, it's producers, it's team, it's salespeople, it's a whole floor. We've got a whole floor of it. We've got a cafe downstairs. You know, there's a lot of that encompass this world. But I think, you know, the great thing about it is that, you know, if you are wanting to do radio, or you're wanting to know what it's like, I mean, it's all about like having your voice heard. And, you know, if you've got something to say, or you're passionate about music, or you've got something that you want to add to this world and you want to get involved in radio, I mean, why not go for it? You know, there's a lot of, like, this platform right here. I mean, we're not on a station, but this is very similar to how we would work on air. So the great thing about social media and podcasting and all these great places, you can experience what it's like to be on radio, but not at the same time, because this is very similar, you know?
Yeah, that's amazing. So next time, viewers, next time when you go to Chemist Warehouse, if you heard about a lady speaking on the radio, that's Steph, none other than Steph. Now,
That's
I met
me.
Steph at a talent search, and she was one of the judges at Fast Track. So I was just very fond of participating for that, and I got an award from that contest as the most entertaining the event, as the chicken fried rice. I did the song. I hope that you remember, Steph, how it was.
I do remember. I
was
do
so
remember,
fun.
and I ate some too.
Yes, so that's how I met Steph. She was one of the judges. Now tell me, the judging and going with the different the sectors of entertainment industry, how do you feel that one? How do you like it?
Yeah, that was a really interesting experience. I haven't done many of those things. I was obviously invited as a guest. Yeah, I think one of the things that you look for is a connection with the audience. That's the biggest thing. I think when you're watching, even when you're watching a show, you want to connect with the characters, you want to connect with the show, otherwise you turn it off after 10 minutes. That's like what it's like at a talent competition. When there's a lot of people that are singing, sometimes it can all sound the same. So what you're after is something that's different, that's entertaining, and that's, you know, got a storyline or something that excites you about that. And that's why you got the award, because for you, you brought something different to the table. So that's why it was entertaining. Whereas if you're just singing a song, I mean, that's cool, but you better sing it really well, you know. So you've got to, you know, it's all about, I guess, being the best, but the best at what you can do. Not the best, but the best at what you can do. So if you are the best, like, high singer, then be the best high singer. Don't hold back. Don't not go for those notes because, you know, you think nobody's going to like them. That's probably what's going to win people over. You know, like you, when you were saying you're the singing chef. It's like, well, if you didn't actually make something on the stage, well, then what good would that be? So you've actually got to go all the way. Don't go halfway and then, you know, think, oh no, people are going to judge me. Well, you know, then expect that it's not going to be that for you. Now, we all get nervous, but what I'm saying is that the same way that, you know, I was talking about my journey, it's go all in, you know, don't hold back. If you know you're the best interviewer, then be the best interviewer. Ask the questions like you are now, you know. So it's just going into those really big things and not being afraid. And I think that's what you look for in any competition. You just want people that are really giving it their best, and they don't actually have to be the best at it, but they have to be the best for them. And that's what shows. Because if you're just a great singer, my personal opinion is that you can just be a great singer, but, you know, not understand what you're talking about. Well, that's no good. I don't care about the fancy notes. I care about what you're saying in the song. We want to connect with you. We connect with shows, like I said, people, songs, we hear music, and we can hear the love. It's like, all right, I'm going to put cooking at you, right? Now, I'm like you. Like, I cook with love, all right? The oils, I don't have a recipe. I just do it. You know, you just chuck things in and you just make it taste good. Yeah, you got to add a bit more chili, or you got to add a little bit more salt, whatever it is. Like, you figure that out. It's not just a straight recipe. I mean, you can follow the recipe, but the recipe is just going to taste like everybody else's. So what do you want? You want it to be like everybody else's, or do you want it to be your own? So think about it like that. It's got to have love. And one more thing, just speaking about cooking, if you speak to your parents or your grandparents that cook, right, they never had a recipe book in their life, and you know it. Like, no way. They just cook from what they feel, and that's how to approach it. I think, again, going back to social media, people, recipes, whatever you want to call it, everybody just overcomplicates things. And I think if you approach it with the right intention and you have love and you do it from that, then people can see that.
Great, Steph. That was really valued points, that everybody thinks that, oh my God, I would love to do something, but I don't think that I'm good enough to do that. Or maybe you position yourself in a very lower esteem and lower level, where they're watching the others and they think that it's not that they're up to that level or achieving that position. Now, tell me, Steph, now, since you're doing online format nowadays, the coaching, now some of my viewers are different parts of the world, especially from Sri Lanka. I'm definitely sure they would like to connect with you. Now, is there a possibility that online format gives the ability, the access to any part of the world that they would like to connect if they want it? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the great part of the internet. You know, feel free to contact for whatever you feel like you need, you know. And, you know, my socials are, you know, on Instagram, it's steph.presents, and obviously on Facebook, it's Stephainehelamantaris. Hopefully it's still that, yeah. And yeah, so I'm open to any questions or, you know, feedback or anything that anybody wants to say. I think I'm going to leave it really open, because I think that everybody, again, needs and wants and something different. So, you know, absolutely feel free. You know, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. You know, sometimes I'm not the best at answering fast, but I will give the most thought into whatever somebody asks me as well. Obviously, I can't solve a problem in a message, but I can definitely answer a quick question. So yeah, so that, I guess that's where the boundary is there, because of course, I mean, I can answer a quick question on, you know, how's this or how's that. Sure, I'm able to answer that. But if it's an in-depth question, there's probably something I need to actually talk like this. So yeah, I'm much more of a face-to-face person, or online. I love Zoom at the moment. I'm loving it. I do Zooms all the time. So yeah, you know, if anybody needs help in any area, you know, even in speaking and communicating, I mean, it's such a big thing these days to be able to do it efficiently and communicate with other people as well. So, and present themselves in a way that makes them feel and look good as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And Steph, one more thing now, when it comes to image building and improve your personal image, is there any particular age group, or do you have to really have to be young or teenager or anything like that, or you are open to involve with anybody with different age groups?
Everybody. I think it's just got to be really open. I think it's just, again, it's just got to be someone who really wants to do something with their life. You know, it just, you know, I think, yeah, like it doesn't, you can start at any age. You can start anything at any age. It's not too late. There is a 86-year-old man that I love to watch. His name is Bob Proctor. He is an amazing man. If you ever want to find out a lot more about mindset, he's amazing. He's 86 years old, and you know what he says? He goes, I'm just getting started, at the end of his things. And that's how I feel. I feel like it doesn't matter. It just is, as long as the goal is something attainable, then why not go for it? I mean, look, I think when you are a child, it's you need something different. When you are an adult, you need something different. But that's up to the person, you know. And you know, I guess in my sense, I try and help everyone that I can. You know, sometimes I can't, honestly. That's just the way it is. I'm not for everyone, and everyone's not for me, and like same with you. So, you know, the only way to find out is to have a conversation and figure it out, you know. So that's where it all starts.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just mentioned Bob Proctor. I really like him because he's always talk about the paradigm change, and of course the subconscious mind, and how do you work improve the subconscious mind to go into and achieve your goal. Now, when it comes to subconscious mind, I would just like to get into your idea. Now, people always work through the conscious mind, where they're jumping into one or the other, and they try different things in their life, and they never succeed, or they think that, oh, it's not for me, it's not for me, it's not for me. Now tell me, how do you develop the subconscious mind? When we were kids, we love to work with the subconscious mind, but when we become older, we getting spoiled with different things, the social media influences and whatnot. Now, as an individual in different age, how do you develop this subconscious mind and achieve your goals?
Yeah, I think that comes to very deep work that you need to go internal to start working out. And listening to people like Bob Proctor is a great source, because he's got a lot of information. I think the other thing is that, you know, sometimes we can't do things alone. So if you're listening to videos or podcasts and they're not helping you, go get a mentor, go get a coach, because they'll see things in you that you're not seeing in yourself. So I think that's a great way to, I guess, start unpacking your mind and getting somebody else to unpack it and see the things that you're not seeing, because sometimes we're in it and we can't even see it. And I know that through mentors of mine that I've had an experience, and, you know, I'll say something and they said, oh, well, Steph, I think you're thinking about it this way. Why don't you think about it this way? And then that changes my mindset. So those are the little things. That's where you can start. But I think if you want to, you know, really get into it, definitely get a mentor, definitely get a coach, and, you know, start to unpack those things, because like you said, the subconscious mind is something that gets filled from a child, and you know, we get filled with these belief systems and stories that we get in our head as to why we can't do something. We have a pattern that shows, right? But in order to change the pattern, we've got to change our habits. We've got to change, because it's not that we have to change, we've got to change the habits and therefore program the subconscious mind differently. I studied neuro-linguistic programming, so I'm an NLP practitioner. So I do a lot of work on the subconscious mind, and we do lots of little pattern things and things to interrupt and, you know, help you in the short term. But I think in the long term, you do need somebody that you can talk to, and you do need to actually do the work to find out the deeper meaning as to what is actually happening to you and why it is. What are those things that keep coming up? So once you start letting those come up and, you know, you're able to then deal with it, then you can start to shift those, create new subconscious patterns, and to be able to achieve things that you've never achieved. And the only reason you're achieving the same goal is because you're always doing it the same way. So you got to change it.
That's great. That's great. And also in related to that, the law of attraction, whatever you think come back to you. Even in the Buddhism, it says whatever you think and expect will definitely come back to you. Now people think that, oh, come on, I have all the good qualities. Everything is good in me, but every bad happenings, it's only for me. So what do you have to say on these type of personalities who thinks that it is only for me? The problem is only for me.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because I think that's twofold. Number one, you're never alone, ever, ever, ever. Sometimes I think that I'm only dealing with something, but there's a lot of people that are dealing with the same thing. I mean, COVID, for example, like we're all getting affected. We're all getting affected differently, but I bet there's somebody that's thinking the same thing as me, or there's somebody that's in, so we're never alone in what we're feeling. The other thing is that thinking that it's always you. Well, there's something that there is something that you're doing, or there's something that you're putting out there that's attracting that thing to you. So it's really looking at your patterns and behaviors and other things to be able to navigate, because the thing is that's actually true. The way you, again, the way you see the world is what happens to you. So, you know, if you're always lucky, it's because you're doing something in a certain way all the time. But if you're unlucky, you're always doing something a certain way, because we all know that. Always the people, you know, if you're always thinking negatively, then you're going to have a lot of negativity in your life. It just depends on where you position yourself in life. So I think that if you think it's always happening to you, you've got to remember that sometimes taking yourself out of the equation is even better, because we can't see it when we're in it. We think, me, but it's not. It's actually bigger than you. So you got to take yourself out of the situation and see the situation for what it really is. What is actually happening? And is anything good or bad? Well, we don't know. It just is. So you can't really say, you know, this is bad or this is good. It just is. So what am I going to do? If I'm going to waste energy on the bad, then I'm going to waste out a lot of energy when I can use that to shift into something that's better. Because everything happens for us and not to us. That's the bottom line. You know, you would say that some of the worst things that have happened to you, like myself, have been the best things that ever happened to us. They end up being the best things. So when you go through something and think it's only you, be like, okay, what am I learning from this? Instead of, why is it happening to me? What am I learning? That's a really good question to ask.
So much of good nuggets, Steph, you have added to our viewers. I'm definitely sure individuals who are watching this would definitely get a positive vibes. And also, if you want to connect with Stephanie in person, that is open to you. Anybody, any part of the world, she is open on social media, where I share her contacts, and or rather the Facebook page. That is the best thing, because it's open for anybody. And apart from that, Steph, anybody wants to get in touch with you, do you have any separate website or special access or anything that you want to come out with?
Yeah, look, I'm actually working on a bit of a rebrand at the moment. So just message me personally, and then I'll direct you to a few things. But yeah, I mean, you can check out my, you know, my Facebook, my Instagram, you know, some of the things I've done. You know, you can check out, I mean, my, you know, my business, Entertainment Mindset, and have a look at some of the things I've done there. Yeah, it hasn't been updated in a while. I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes and launching, relaunching in November. So I'm really excited about that. So watch this space. Yeah, it's going to be like a whole big transformation, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you more, Don. This has been great. I'm so happy that you asked me to be on.
I'm so glad, and you get a bouquet of hearts from Angela. I think some of your relatives.
Yes. Yes.
So cool, so cool. And one last thing, Steph, before we wind up, I hope that you enjoyed the chat. I'm definitely, as you said, and this is a very great pleasure for me to get you. I'm definitely sure you're going to the next level of coaching and mentoring for many hundreds of upcoming successful individuals. And one last thing that you want to tell our viewers, I'm definitely sure most of your viewers are new people who are watching you for the first time. Anything that you want to add in general?
Yeah, I think just you know, think of things that you're grateful for. You know, be grateful for the things that you have. We're all alive. You know, and just those little things that you love, whether it's your walk or your family or whatever it is. But just, I would just say, just feel grateful every single day about something. And, you know, that will, you know, you can never feel negative when you're feeling grateful. So that's my biggest tip.
That is something to carry every moment, every second, even when you're sleeping, because sleeping, your subconscious works very fast, right? Then only you open your doors to the subconscious. The moment you close your eyes and your dreams open, then that means your subconscious. So the moment you get up in the morning where the subconscious closed, that is the moment that you need to be very positive in every ways. Is that right, Steph?
Absolutely. You're so right there. No, thank you so much. This has been great. And, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, yeah, if you missed this or you're watching it right now, even if it's not live, thank you for watching it. And can't wait for this to be out on some more platforms. And yeah, I think this was great. Thank you for all the great, insightful questions. I've really appreciated it. It's good being on this side of the chair.
Yes, it's been a pleasure, and we haven't gone through any script or pre-arrangements. It's just a casual chat, isn't it, Steph?
Yeah,
it's just a casual
absolutely.
Chat. So we haven't got any pre-arrangement. So it's a very fun thing, and I'm definitely sure it's not only the fun, it's definitely added value to many of the people who are watching this. We talk about the values with Stephanie. Stephanie is a the image building coach and also an entertainment industry giant, I would say, with a lot of experience and character. Thank you so much, Steph. I look forward to see you once again, and definitely sure you have the next level of your work to many people once again. Stay safe.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.